Today is December 28th, 2020. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting Economics 101, which I've titled Mental Accounting. My main message is that economics is based on personal transactions. I give you something of value, you give me something of value. Basically, it's like the old barter system. If you understand relationships, you can understand economics. Economics is based on reciprocation and equity, very similar to the psychological concept of reciprocity and equity in relationships. For example, in economics, people should get paid in proportion to the economic contributions they make. Likewise, in the psychological realm, people keep a mental accounting of equity, how much they owe others and how much others owe them, for the exchange of personal favors, given and taken in the relationship. People don't like to be indebted to others, and would rather have others indebted to them, owing them reciprocal favors. In relationships, reciprocation is like having money in the bank, or a get-out-of-jail-free card from the game of Monopoly that can be drawn upon need. Equity and reciprocation are the fundamental concepts of both commerce and relationships. In commerce, equity is based on an established trade between goods, services, and money. In relationships, equity is based on the exchange of love, affection as measured by time, attention, gifts, and favors. One of the best examples of equity in relationships is sibling rivalry, wherein children compete for their parents' attention and generosity, which, if unbalanced, can result in a lifelong grievances and resentments, especially if there is an absence of equity and the presence of favoritism. The first great law of economics: more is better than less, and this is true in both commerce and relationships. A bigger house is better than a smaller house. So in terms of commerce, if you underpromise and overdeliver, you receive gratitude in return. If you shortchange people, you will pay a price on the next transaction. Everyone is seeking equity, a fair deal. In the psychological realm of mental accounting, what is fair is often a matter of opinion, but in general, the more you receive in a transaction, whether it be social or economic, the better. But if a market price for a transaction becomes a social standard, then most people will conduct trades at that standard. However, you gain an advantage by giving more than expected, or whatever is standard, especially when the other party is aware that they've received more than what is the standard entitles them to. Now they owe you something extra in the future, according to the law of reciprocity, so as to balance the scales of equity or mental accounting. Second great law of economics is that sooner is better than later. This is both true in commerce and relationships. Instant gratification is best. Getting something now is better than tomorrow. Likewise, receiving something tomorrow is better than an indefinite soon. Receiving something soon is better than never. At least you have hope that you may eventually receive it. Time has value in economics because people want time to enjoy the pleasures that a transaction will bring them as soon as possible. The more they have to wait, the less time they have to enjoy whatever it is they expect to gain from the transaction. The economics of reciprocity becomes blurry when the time element of mental accounting is taken into consideration. The trade-off between timeliness and benefits is somewhat difficult to measure. Proposition 3, the third great law of economics. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and again, this is true in both commerce and relationships. There's a price to be paid for everything, either in time, money, aggravation, etc. If it's free, someone else, or maybe even yourself, is paying for it somehow. Free just means the price, obligation, reciprocity isn't obvious to you yet. Anytime you get more than what you paid for, your own mental accounting will come into play, tabulating the potential favor or some sort of social reciprocation you will eventually be expected to repay. You ignore this warning of no free lunch at your own peril. So if you don't want to owe someone a favor, then don't accept a free lunch from them. My final message: both economics and relationships are based on equity and reciprocity. The simple principles of psychology and economics are based on common sense, but yet, during times of temptation, fear, and greed, most people will forget them, while the person who remembers gains valuable advantages. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.